Hi everybody. Sigmund Freud is known as the father of psychology, and he was brilliant. He was a brilliant man, but he was also incredibly fucked up. Freud believed that life was all about sex and death, or as he called it, Eros and Thanatos. He believed that we had two drives, the drive to create and the drive to die, the death wish. He regarded sex as the root of all creativity and productivity. The way he saw it, everything constructive or creative that we did was actually sublimation, a substitute for sex. And destructive activities were related to our death wish. He was just a weird old guy with lots of hang-ups, but he was brilliant. For example, he came up with the concept of the blank slate. That during therapy, the therapist should not really give up much about himself. He should sit quietly and passively and listen, and the patient would project his hang-ups onto the therapist. And that actually does work, and it's still in use today. But he also came up with penis envy. The idea that women felt incomplete because they didn't have a penis and were subconsciously envious of men. He even said that a woman having a baby was a way for them to have a huge penis, if only temporarily. Now, this is absurd. Women do not envy men's dicks. If a woman wants one, she can pretty much get one anytime she wants. And as for having babies, well, that urge is, nature planted that a lot deeper than just a wish for a penis. And obviously, our destructive behaviors come from many sources. They are much more complicated than a simple death wish. Destructive behaviors can spring from trauma, from difficulty with family relations, problems with peers, or even imbalances in brain chemistry. And sometimes it's just the natural rebelliousness that comes from growing up. So let's just say that reports of our death wish have been greatly exaggerated. As for sex, well, it is a great motivator. And a whole lot of stuff that men and women do is designed to impress each other. For men, it might be signing up for the football team or joining a band. For women, it might be becoming a cheerleader, or just being very focused on how she looks. But then a funny thing happens. Playing the sport, or making music, or poetry, or whatever, becomes fulfilling in and of itself. The game itself and doing well in it brings great satisfaction that becomes more important than impressing the cheerleaders. And women who play sports certainly don't do it to impress us guys. They do it as an outlet for their competitive instincts. And these activities are not mere substitutes for sex. They are a means of self-fulfillment. Freud, as brilliant as he was so hung up he couldn't get beyond sex and death. Not because of insight into humanity, but because of a lack of insight into himself. You see, there's a need for human beings to express themselves, to fulfill themselves, to create, and to be good at stuff. This goes far beyond any sexual instinct or urge or desire we might have. Sex is a great motivator, an awesome thing to experience, but the source of all creativity, that's just going too far. Whether it's our job, our hobby, whether it's physical or mental, we have a need to self-actualize. On a personal level, I write jokes for a living. I also write poems and songs, and you might have noticed I also write a lot of YouTube videos. I do these things because they please me. I don't think that that would change if I were having more sex. However, I might write more jokes about sex. Thanks for listening.